So we're all talking to AI these days, right? But how many of us really get how it works? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain, cut through all the jargon, and really get to the bottom of how these amazing tools actually, well, think.
Yeah, this is the big one, isn't it? How can a bunch of code be creative or understand sarcasm? It honestly feels like magic, but I promise you, by the end of this, you're going to see exactly how the trick is done.
All right, so first things first, let's get one thing straight. AI is not some futuristic sci-fi idea anymore. It's here. In fact, it's already a huge part of your daily routine, most of the time without you even noticing. I mean, really, just think about your day. That new show Netflix queued up for you? That's AI. The fraud alert from your bank that just saved you a massive headache? Yep, AI again. It's the silent partner in everything from your car to the operating room. Okay, so that's the what. But what about the how? How do we go from a simple computer program to an AI that can actually, talk to us? Well, the whole secret is in how it learned to master our most complicated tool of all, language. And this is where things get really, really cool. You see, it's one thing for a machine to just recognize a word. It's a completely different game for it to understand meaning and irony and all that nuance. The breakthrough here is just, it's incredible. And that breakthrough is called a large language model, or, as you've probably heard, an LLM. I want you to imagine an AI that has basically read the internet, all of it, plus millions of books and articles. It hasn't just memorized the words. It's learned the incredibly complex relationships and patterns between all of them. And this slide right here perfectly illustrates its superpower: context. See, LLMs use something called semantic association. It's just a fancy term for understanding that words change meaning based on the words around them. So when the AI sees river, it knows bank means the side of the river. When it sees money, it knows bank is where you put your cash. That is the secret to how it understands. So, if context is the superpower, how does it actually build that understanding? Well, to get that, we need to look at language the way the AI does, not as sentences, but as a collection of tiny individual pieces. The absolute best way to picture this is to think of every single word, every phrase, every piece of punctuation as a tiny little Lego block. It's a really simple idea, but it's so powerful for understanding what's going on under the hood. So in the AI world, these little Legos have a name. They're called tokens. When you type something like, "Hello, how are you?" the AI doesn't see a friendly greeting. It sees a list of tokens: hello, comma, how, are, you, and question mark. These little blocks are the only things it actually works with. And that's such a critical idea to grasp. Everything the AI does, from understanding your question to writing its own answer, it's all measured and built with tokens. This one concept explains both its amazing abilities and some of its weird limitations. Okay, so if it thinks in tokens, how many can it remember at once? Well, that brings us to the AI's memory, which is called its context window. Just think of it like the AI's short-term memory. It's the total number of tokens it can keep in mind from our conversation at any given moment. And just look at this. The evolution here is insane. Just a couple of years back, a top AI could remember about 4,000 tokens. Kind of like a long essay. If your chat went longer than that, it would literally start forgetting what you talked about at the beginning. But now, we're at 128,000 tokens. That is like going from remembering an essay to holding an entire 300-page book in your head at once. This is exactly why talking to AI feels so much smarter and more coherent than it did just a short while ago. Okay, so we've got the building blocks and we've got the memory, but there's one more piece to this puzzle. And honestly, it might be the most important one. And that piece is you. How you talk to an AI completely changes the results you get. There's this new skill called prompt engineering. Now, that sounds super technical and intimidating, but it's not. It's just the art of giving good instructions. Don't think of it like you're coding. Think of it like you're talking to a brilliant assistant who is also extremely literal. You have to be clear. And I mean, look at this example. The difference is absolutely night and day, right? The vague prompt, how to draw a house, is going to get you a generic, probably useless answer. But the engineered prompt, wow. You give it a role, act as an architect, you tell it the audience for a beginner, and you specify the output, a 5-step guide. The answer you get back will be 1,000 times better, all because you had a better conversation. All right, let's bring it all together. We've talked about tokens, context windows, and prompting. But let's zoom out. So what? Why does any of this actually matter to you right now? Because it represents a massive fundamental shift in how we find things out. For the last 20 years, we've used search engines like a librarian. We ask, where can I find information about this? And it gives us a list of links to go look at. But with conversational AI, we're not asking where to find it. We're just asking for it directly. And then we can keep the conversation going. We can refine it, ask follow-ups, and truly collaborate with the information. So let's just do a quick recap. In just the last few minutes, we've kind of cracked the AI code. It's not a mysterious black box anymore. You now know that it's already a part of your life, that its magic trick is all about context, its language is built from tiny blocks called tokens, and that you're the one in the driver's seat through clear conversation.
Learning to speak this new language, it opens up a whole new world of possibilities for creativity, for solving problems, for learning, anything. We are right at the very beginning of this new partnership between our ideas and the AI's power to execute them. So now that you understand how the conversation works,